Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit Azabi here, back again with Attack on Titan Season 4. Finally, we have hit the latter half of the season, and by all accounts, it's the end. This is it, we're in the final stretch now. So every episode that drops week to week is leading up to the finale. So emotions are scattered. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of different emotions. Bittersweet sums it up as one, but also like excitement, anxiety, because this show doesn't pull any punches. So I am expecting, as always, there to be shocks, pulling on heartstrings. But it is a weird feeling that when you are so captivated by a show or a story, you know that it's coming up to an end very shortly. It's like you will never be able to experience this first time ever again. Unless you get amnesia, in which I don't wish that on anybody, by the way, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm never going to be able to experience this first time ever again. So it is a weird feeling in that regard. But first and foremost, I am excited. I mean, this is the thing, is like with Attack on Titan, we are living it right now, like watching it air right now. And I think that's a privilege, because it's not like you're going back to, to watch a masterpiece that you never watched, previously before, but we're in the time of watching it right now. We are watching a masterpiece unfold before our eyes. Don't get me wrong, this is a masterpiece. Like, even, taken away from the fact of, putting it in the category of anime. In terms of an anime show, it's fucking up there as one of the best of all time. Yeah, there's subjectivity involved, like, between different people, but in general, it's fucking up there. So yeah, not even just in the anime bracket or just putting it in the manga bracket, but in terms of storytelling, this is a very, very captivating story, and it's put itself to the forefront and cross-media. So it is a privilege to watch this as it is airing. And yeah, I mean, take it all in, guys, because unless you've obviously, you've read the story beforehand, like in the manga or whatever, so you know what's coming up in the in the anime. But even then, like, you're witnessing it in animated form. So take that in as well. Because this show, it doesn't, especially like the music enhances this show so fucking much. It's incredible. Like, the music is unreal. The soundtrack is phenomenal. But yeah, in terms of emotions, excitement comes first, because I'm glad that it's back. And we are on episode 17. So, episode 17 of season 4. Let's reiterate that. So yes, in the last episode, it ended on a cliffhanger, which Attack on Titan does like to do. There's nothing new there. So we ended off with, we were in Paradis, we were back in Paradis. And Peak was hanging around. There was a moment where she went to talk to Eren, and it looked like, for a second, you could have been mistaken for thinking that she was actually looking to join up with Eren. Because the thing is with Peak, it's like she was always like, she's a bit more laid back than the other, the other Titan shifters, like obviously from Marley and whatnot. So there was maybe a possible chance that if any of the characters were to kind of switch over, we're not including Zeke on this, by the way. I mean, Zeke hasn't really switched sides, more so than he's kind of like, and he's always doing his own thing anyway. But Peak, there was a slight chance that could have happened. We found out that wasn't the case, and it was actually an ambush. So Galliard was there, and he attacked from beneath. Peak made sure, obviously, to hold hands with Gabby as well, like get her, close to her, so that, that was kind of like the whole thing, right, to get the kids back. So, yeah, and that's pretty much where we ended off. We had Eren, who did avoid Galliard's attack, change into his Titan form, and then the Zeppelin showed up. Reiner is there. He's ready to fucking jump in. The thing is like, I don't know how this is going to go. It's interesting to see the other side, I guess, because obviously at the start of season 4, well, not the start of season 4, but the first half of the season, we had Paradis actually go out and attack Marley, and unbeknownst to Marley, it was a sneak attack per se, right? So they didn't have time to plan. It makes me wonder if anyone on Paradis was expecting this. you would think that it was run by them. Like, if you went out, like, out and attacked Marley, then, you know, you would have some kind of contingency plan in place in case that happened to them. It was still an initial ambush. Fully enough, like, if we actually consider it, and I haven't thought about this before, but it's actually a similar ambush to what Eren did against what was his name? You know, when the attack commenced, like, obviously from below. I didn't actually think about that before, but yeah, that's very similar. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. The thing is with Eren is that the way that he's going about his whole plan, it almost feels like he holds the cards. Like, he doesn't seem worried or anything. Like, almost like everything that could happen couldn't stop him from his kind of tunnel vision that he's got. Because he's got his own thing going on, and it just feels like, especially from this episode, like, I don't see this letting up and stopping. I feel like this is it. We're moving now until the end. And the next break we get will probably be the end of the show. God. So yeah, I mean, even Armin and Mikasa aren't really truly on side with Eren. Like, they had their first, like, proper, like, real fight that was serious. And that was insane, by the way. And it's kind of like a whole thing of, well, Armin and Mikasa and, you know, and Connie and Jean and all of them, like, it's kind of like you either get on board with Eren or not, because Eren's not really leaving them a choice. It's like, he's going, and to whatever end that may be, he's just going. So he's kind of just an unstoppable train at this point, I feel like. But nothing phases him. Like, he's changed so much since season 3. Like, and obviously before that, like, that crossover from season 3 to season 4, like, he has changed so much. Like, ever since he got that information, you know, like the books and whatnot that he got from, like, that his father wrote down and everything like that, like, everything changed from that moment forward. You know, so yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how they deal with this, because they've got, like, Reiner's there, Peak's there, obviously, Galliard's there. That's the 3. Oh shit, we haven't even talked about Zeke and Levi. Fucking hell, there's so much going on, dude. Oh, right, we didn't get to see anything involving Levi. I fucking hope he's okay. I still hope he's okay. Zeke got pulled up into, like, the stomach of one of the Titans that he was controlling, right, to, like, almost, like, speed up his healing. And I think that's the last that we saw of them. Also, that was an insane. That was insane. Like, I think it was the second to last episode of the first half of the season, right? Which was where, like, we actually saw, like, you know, like, Zeke's backstory and everything, which is one of my favorite episodes of the show. That was so insane. Like, that was the episode that, like, made me actually, like, him one of my favorite characters. And he was just ready to go out to take Levi with him, and God, I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I can actually start, like, talk about this. I think we're just going to get into it, right? Because I'm too excited, and I need to see what's going to happen. So yeah, let's get into this. So yeah, as always, the reaction will be here on YouTube, but if for whatever reason in the future it gets taken down for copyright, then the link to the reaction will be in the description below. As always, a link to the full-length reaction to this episode is in the description below as well. So if you do want to watch my full-length reaction to this episode, then the link is there for you. But yes, nothing else really to talk about. So we're going to get into episode 17, season 4 of episode... of episode of Attack on Titan, and see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Oh, fuck, this is Levi, isn't it? Ah! Oh, no way! No way is he fucking dead, though.
Levi 兵長何があったか知らねえけど運がいい一番の脅威が血まみれになってる死んでるよ至近距離から雷槍の爆発を受けたんだ
No way!
外傷以上に内臓がズタズタになって即死だ
Oh, wait a minute.
俺も脈くらい測れる
Maybe Hanji's saving him. Maybe, like, trying... Yeah. Oh, shit. Zeke's in there, right?
消えている死んだのか
Oh my god, it's like taking all the energy from the Titan. That was mad. It, like, sucked up all of the rain clouds. He's literally taken the whole fucking Titan's energy and, like... God, Look at him. God! Get a load of this Titan. God! Yes. Okay, they'll get away, There's...
知らない少女が土をこねて俺の体を作った。何年もそうしていたような気もするし、一瞬だったような気もする。
Oh, and he has been there before. We've seen her like on like a beach kind of thing.
あれが道なのか。
New opening. Fuck. Oh god, shit is gonna go down. Okay, here we go. We need Armin out there. Come on. Oh, Reiner. The thing is, this like we could literally be like about to see the end of Reiner, because how many more times are they gonna fight against each other before it, you know, it inevitably, like one of them has to come out the victor, right? Fucking hell! Jesus Christ! Well, I haven't seen like the full face of it for a while because it's been covered up the whole of the first half of the season, right? Look how many there are! Why? He's gonna do his own thing, isn't he? He's doing his own thing. He's not listening. God. This is a cool like scene because it's like Eren's defending his homeland. Like, this is mad. I don't know if Reiner has it in him anymore. Like, it was one thing him going up just against the Attack Titan, but Eren's got the fucking Warhammer Titan now. Man. God.
Gabi! ブラウン貴様、誰が敵地に乗り込めと命じた。
申し訳ありません。
勝手な真似を。
アルカはどこに？
ジークの脊髄液を口にしてしまい、閉じ込められています。
なんだと。
You'll be on his way back though.
ここまで来たが、始祖の力を敵が行使する可能性
Oh
は。
fuck.
わかりません。しかし、始祖の力が彼らの切り札であることは。
What if he shows up and like screams, and then Eren's got like an army of? Oh God, things could go mad.
始祖の力を発動できる状態にないのだと思われます。
どういうことだ？ジークが王家の血を引く巨人ということか？
復権派の指導者が両親なら、あるいはエレンとジークを接触させてはなりません。
I don't know how far away they were.
今ここで始祖を食らい、2000年の遺恨に終止符を打つ。
Were they wanting to eat him, or do they not care? It's not going to be enough. They can't get through that. Oh God. Oh. It feels so one-sided. Reiner obviously put himself up because he's the armored one. Take like most of the damage.
もう観念しろ。お前はここまでだ。
Fucking hell. Dude, he is nuts now. He is nuts. How powerful he is. Oh, alright, peeks here. That was straight through the head. Did you blow his head off? No, it was just the fucking hell. Oh, of course, they're firing from the Zeppelin as well. Oh God, we need help here. Where's Armin? Are they still locked up? So obviously Armin can't do that. He's still using it. Even though his motor skills aren't working, he can still use it. Oh, okay. Jesus. Oh, is he going to use that? Holy fuck! Oh my god! He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Ah, bless him. Still locked up, that's right. Come on, let him loose!
マーレ軍が飛行船で空から攻めてきた。それをエレンが一人で相手にしている。
Let them out, come on.
いずれやられる。
Stop panicking!
始祖がマーレに奪われる。手を貸してくれ。みんなでエレンを援護するんだ。
何がみんなだ。てめえらの戦いだろうが。もう裏切られるのは飽きてんだぜ俺は。兄、ベルトルト、兄、エレン。もう飽きたんだよクソが。
俺は本当に知らなかったんだ。ワインのことや安楽死計画なんて他の義勇兵と同じように。
本当だと思うぞ。俺たちはイエレナから口止めされていた。義勇兵にワインのことは言うなと。
この島のみんなのために尽くしてきた。
To be fair, Onyangapon's like the one that I've trusted
この
most
島
out
に
of
未来があ
a
る
lot
と
of
信
them,
じ
you
てい
know?
たからやれたんだ。子供は未来だ。
いろんな奴がいた方が面白いからだってね。君という人はまるでジークの思想に反した姿勢を見せてきた。
エレンとジークに手を貸すということは安楽死計画を実現させるということだ。
You can help them for now, though, and then do your own
計
thing.
画は阻止するんだ。しかし二人を失ったらこの島を世界から守ることはで
Yeah,
き
so
ない。
they've got to be on side
ど
for
うし
now.
ろって言うんだよ。
ミカサはどうしたい？エレンを助けたいの？
助けたい。
Of course.
でもそれはきっとエレンが言ったように
Right, because of that,
私がアッカーマンだから
she's been unsure, right, that it was actually...
自分の意思じゃない。
エルディア人が子供を作れなくなることをエレンが望んでるってみんな本気でそう思ったの？
確かに奴らしくないとは思ったが、ありえないことだとまでは。
ありえないだろ。あのエレンだよ。
じゃあなんでジークやイエレナに逆らわないんだよ。
逆らわなくていいからだよ。断ればイエレナはどんな手段を使ったかわからない。
He's using
だ
them.
が承諾したと
I'm with you, Armin.
自分は味方だと思い込ませることができたなら地ならしてこの島を守ることができる。
Armin knows everything. It's just trying to get everyone else on side is the problem. Oh my god! That's one way to try and kill somebody, and on the field of battle, trying to strangle them. What? Oh, it wasn't through the name. I thought it was straight. Jesus Christ! Oh, really? Fucking hell, I went by so quick! Oh, no! Okay, episode 17, Judgment. Right, well, first of all, Levi is alive. Thank fuck for that. For a second, I was ready to just burst. I don't know if you could see, like, my eyes started to well up, but thank fuck that was, like, I'm glad that was cleared up, like, quickly, because that could have dragged, and we couldn't, like, we might not have found out for a while, you know, but, like, maybe my mind isn't switched on as much today, but unless fucking what's his name? I want to say Falco. I know it's not though, because that's the little kid. What's his name, man? The fucking fringe dude. The ginger fringe. Flock. Is that Flock? I think it's Flock, right? that does sound right. Sorry if I got that wrong. It's been a while. Yeah, until he actually said, like made a note to be like, let me feel his pulse. I was like, okay. The thing is that Hanji knows, right, that if he's alive, they'll not let it happen. Right? They'll kill him off or whatever. And Hanji was obviously trying to save him. In which case, she has done, at least for now. I mean, I don't think that we're going to get to the next episode or in a couple episodes time, and it turns out that Levi drowned while they went down the river. I don't think that's going to be the case, but yeah, I'm fucking happy because for a second there, the bastards, they had me for a second. So yeah, he's alive. He's in a fucking well bad way. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, how long is that going to take to heal? I mean, he's fucked. So unless we're gonna get a, I don't know how many episodes actually there are. Did they state how many episodes there would be remaining? Because you would assume that the next episode will be taking place immediately after this one. I just feel like there has to be a time jump at some point, because I don't know, unless he gets a Titan power, which would be insane. We don't know if he can though, because he's an Ackerman, right? But like, there's the Ackermans. I can't remember. I don't think they have like any Eldian blood in them. I think we've talked about this before, about like this whole thing, and it's kind of unclear whether or not they are actually of, like, they have any Eldian in them. In which case, you know, because that would basically, what I was going to say is that unless they were able to, you know, turn Levi into a Titan and a Titan shifter, then he would be healed rather quickly. If that isn't the case, I mean, I wouldn't want him to. I wouldn't want Levi to be a Titan. Of every single character in the show, Levi's the one that I don't want to have. I just feel, because he doesn't need it. Everyone else can benefit from it. I feel like Levi, like, it would just be a hindrance for him. So I don't want him to. But I feel like there must be a time jump, because he's in a bad way. Like that. I mean, he looked dead. You know. Erwin looked less dead, and he was dead on the roof. Sorry for bringing up those sad memories, but like, it's true. Like, he's fucked. So I feel like that's going to take a long time to heal. And also, like, we've got to bear in mind that, like, he's not going to be. I don't know if he's going to be taken to, like, some medics. You know, like, I feel like Hanji's kind of going to have to do this herself, because, I mean, she runs the risk of running back into Flock and you know, all of them again. And obviously, I mean, she's not going to take them to the current war that's going on in the middle of, you know, in the middle of the city. So, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, immediately after that, Zeke returned to you know, full strength, which was a cool scene. I did like the way that they showed that, actually. It's interesting as well. Like, he's able to kind of sap Titan's power, like you know, like, basically, like, sap all of their energy to himself to heal him quick. Now, I know that it was, I can't remember if it wasn't stated, was it? Like, did Zeke say something when he got? I don't think he did, but it was kind of like implied, the idea that he's being, like, kind of, you know, kind of wrapped around, like, inside of this Titan to make him heal quicker, like, makes sense. But the fact that like, he can just sap all of the Titan energy from, you know, that Titan into himself to heal him, like, to a ridiculous rate. I mean, that's insane regeneration. Especially, like, just like, in such a bad way that he was. Like, it just makes me think that in no way, like, it's only the Beast Titan that could do that. It might have something to do with, obviously, his blood as well. You know, the fact that he has that royal blood within him means that he can, like, he can utilize that to a degree. But I feel like, because the Beast Titan does have, like, you know, I don't know, like, it just feels like, obviously we've never seen it before, but it was definitely an interesting visual. It was cool that, like, you know, basically the clouds had parted and there was no rain anymore. You know, it was out of the thunderstorm, and he was like reborn again. It was like a phoenix, like, rising from the flames, except it was Zeke rising buck naked out of a skeleton. God, you know what I mean? His knob just fully on show to the world. It's just funny. It's a funny image, man. And like almost like his first words, like he can't remember anything. And like, that's the thing, is like, because Hanji had said, like, had basically lied, saying that he was dead in order to protect Levi, right? Like, I wonder if if Zeke was saying that just to, you know, to stop, you know, to basically like not tell them. But then, like, the thing is, no, I truly think that he just doesn't remember, because there's nothing that he would be given away. Like, you know, it's not like they would kill him for him saying that he like tried to kill Levi, right? I mean, you've got to remember that like Zeke was literally strapped to the Thunder Spear. Levi was just, you know, like obviously caught the sort of like the blast, but like Levi literally just had it, like literally like all of it. You know, he was in a bad way. Yeah, he was fucked after that. But of course he can regenerate. Levi can't. Well, he can, but like as long as he isn't dead over the course of weeks, months, fucking God knows, considering the state that he's in. So yeah, like I feel like truly like he just mustn't remember, because like I guess being in that kind of an explosion, like that kind of mess, that kind of trauma, like because we know like the state, like the mental state that Zeke was in when he decided to actually just set the Thunder Spear off. He wasn't in a good place. He was ready to kill himself. Like he had obviously mustered up the, you know, that kind of courage, I guess, to just like basically just say, no, this is the end of me, like that's it, it's done. And even though he wasn't in the right space of mind, like he was ready to go. So like it's that kind of a traumatic experience. It's not, you know, too far-fetched to say that yeah, he obviously doesn't remember, but he does recall the sort of the subconscious element of it when he was out, which is the pathways, the paths, which yeah, we've seen before. That I don't know if we've seen them like other than the Ymir one. I can't remember if we have. I don't think so, but yeah, I remember. I know the exact episode actually. It's season 2, episode 10. It's the the one where we see that like Ymir's talking about her, right, and she's it's when she gets turned, like obviously the backstory of Ymir. I think it's that episode, and I think it's when her Titan like literally goes into hibernation, like under the earth, right? It's literally before she kills Galliard's brother, right? Began with an M, but I know it's not Marco. Marlo? Is that it? It's something like that. But yeah, I think it's when she's in like that kind of like hibernated state, like under the earth, and like obviously the way the earth is kind of like enclosed over her because she's literally just been lying there for so long. That during that moment, I think that's when we see the visual of her like literally on that sort of like beach type thing, looking up at the paths. So it's something that can't be accessed. This is the first time Zeke's seen it as well, so it has to be something that you have to engage in a, like you have to be in a subconscious state in order to find yourself there to see it. I don't think it's enough to just be dreaming, because I mean, you know, like all these characters will have slept. So I doubt that, you know, like it wouldn't have been a case of like they would have seen that before. You know, like judging by the fact that Zeke pretty much guessed right away, like as soon as he was revived and whatever, and he came out and he basically said, so that's the paths. Like I know he's a smart guy, but like you would assume that if they had saw it in a dream previously, that they would have picked up on that anyway, that being the case. So yeah, it seems like with the fact that Zeke was near death, so he was out with it anyway, and Mia was in that hibernated state, that she remembers that's the only time that you can actually say it. So yeah, he basically had said that he remembers a girl rebuilding him out of sand. Not sand, soil. That's right. So I had sand in my mind because it looks like a beach. So it looks like a beach, like a horizon with the pathways like going to the, like out to the, like connect to the horizon kind of thing. But yeah, rebuilding him out of soil. So yeah, it's an interesting sort of premise, I guess, because there's a lot of different things that I've talked about before, you know, in the discussions for this show. Like a lot of them, you know, like related to the bees or whatever, right? Because we see images of bees and whatnot. And I think I remember talking about previously about how bees and whatnot, they pollinate. They're basically the life givers of the world, right? If we run out of bees, that'll be bad. They're life givers in a way, in that they pollinate, flowers and everything like that. And we've talked previously in previous episodes about how I've talked about how this sort of hypothesis that maybe like the Titans are almost like plants in a way, and looking at it from that kind of point of view, that it's a similar sort of thing. But being rebuilt out of soil kind of is that kind of thing. It's a very, the Titans themselves are very, it's almost like a nature thing. It's almost like it's built out of nature, and it's like, the thing is with this show, this story, is that the way that it's written, there's a lot of like juxtaposition. Like if you're talking about the first half of this season, where you see a lot of like, it's a very similar to to previous like real life world wars that we've had in the past. If you want to relate like to World War II or whatever, just judging by like how it looks and everything like that, but the the reasons and they go to war and how much atrocity is caused with war and everything like that. If you talk about obviously the mangaka and the story he's trying to tell, he's wanting to make you think as well, not just about the story it entails, but also like the real world that we live in. And if you want to look at it like almost like nature taken back, if we think of Titans as almost like there's a very sort of like nature backbone to it. It's almost like the nature fighting back against humanity. I remember talking about that before, and it would have been not very many episodes ago. Actually, it would have been in the first half of the season. I would have talked about that, but it does have that that kind of feeling about it. So it's just a hypothesis, a theory, but it does kind of have that way about it. And when Zeke says that this girl was rebuilding him out of soil, it kind of has that, kind of thinks that it seems right. The girl in question is no one that I recognize. I think so. I'm pretty sure we haven't seen that character before, so it's not something that we can relate back to. But I'm sure that all of this will become clear at some point. At least I hope so, because if there's a, if there's an outlying kind of, thing that we don't get to learn because of that, that's gonna suck. So yeah, other than that, right, so the war starts, and Reiner jumps down. Yelena comes out asking him to actually get out of the Titan and move away, because she's scared that there's no point taking this fight, it's only going to put him in danger, and he refuses, and he goes and does his own thing. After this episode, I'm more sure than any episode previously that I think Eren is definitely doing his own thing. Because first of all, the big thing is that Armin is basically laid out the reasoning plain as day, and those who know that Armin's my favorite character. I love him to bits, and whatever he says goes. And it's very logical what he's saying, and it makes sense. And judging by the way that he's going on, not just here, where he's basically taking the fight. Eren doesn't think that this is gonna result in his death or anything like that. He's obviously got his own plan in place, and whatever that is, we don't know as of yet. But yeah, I mean, it's becoming quite clear that he's doing his own thing. Yet he has to keep on side of the likes of Yelena and Zeke, because with Zeke, that is how he has access to his founding Titan powers. So it makes sense why he's keeping them on side whilst also going down his own road. So yeah, I'm on board with Armin on this one. I'm gonna back him to the hilt, and we'll see what becomes of that. It's going to be interesting to see that when Zeke eventually does show up, that what Yelena is actually going to say, because Zeke's smart. He's got a head on him, so I don't think it would take much for him to put two and two together. It's just going to be a question of whether or not Eren can kind of just keep using him. You know what I mean? Slip of the slick tongue, kind of like a silver tongue devil. We'll call him that, and just keep him on side because I just feel it wouldn't take much for Zeke to figure it all out. So we'll see. What else? So yeah, we had the Car Titan armor up, which was cool. So obviously that's what they dropped. The first thing that they dropped out of one of the Zeppelins was the big cannon thing, and it makes sense, yeah, that that was basically to strap to Peak, which is cool. And yeah, we had her scale the wall. The commander, which when was the last time I wrote down his name? God, there's so many characters now. It's getting hard to remember all of their names. Is it like Commander something beginning with G, maybe? I don't know, because there's a lot like Galliard, Gabby, you know what I mean? Fucking hell, I don't know. When will it be the first time we heard his name? You know who I'm talking about anyway, like the Commander dude. It was basically shooting from the back of Peak. Scores a headshot. Really, really good shot, to be fair, because it's not like a sniper. You know what I mean? It's not like got some like 8x scope on the fucking thing. That's essentially like a cannon, and you have to fire it like a sniper. So to get a straight on headshot, I mean, I know Eren wasn't moving. It's a good shot. I mean, I guess he's a commander for a reason, but yeah, it was a good shot. They announced that obviously his motor skills were actually out. He wasn't able to move, but it's cool that even though he's not able to move, he's able to access his Warhammer Titan powers. So he obviously kept that going, and it's insane. That this is what it takes just to stall Eren, to kind of stun him in a way. You need Reiner taking the blows, almost taking all of the aggro from Eren. Galliard in his Jaw Titan, it's so agile, so you need him. At the same time, and even then, it's not enough. 3 Titans, and he's still not dead. But they managed to stun him long enough for Reiner to pick up. Actually, he took it out of the one that was obviously cracked off of the that was obviously stuck through his torso. He took it out, pierced it through Eren. Now, the first time I saw it, I thought you would think this is the killing blow, right? Reiner's thinking he's lining up that this is the killing blow. So you're going to go through essentially the bottom of the neck here, so that when it pierces through, it's going to hit Eren. That's the whole point, right? And somehow, I thought the first time he hit him, I thought that's where it went. But then in my head, I'm like, well, Eren's not dying this episode, is he? I'll be stupid. So he's got out somehow, and we'll find out. But we never saw that. It ended the episode before we found out. Then it cut away to obviously the cells with Onyankopon and everything. We'll get that in a second. But then the second time it came back around to Eren being pierced, it actually looks like it's more through the pectoral, the chest through the back. So how's that happened? Unless Eren's gotten slight control of his motor skills again and managed to, armor him, cover his neck or whatever, up here, so that it's forced the spike to actually, kind of ricochet off his arm maybe and go through his chest somehow like that. Because I don't see how Reiner could miss it. Unless when Eren punched him, and obviously he's got this one eye that's damaged, that obviously his coordination was off, so he just missed. God. I mean, I know that this show has a lot of detail that you need to watch out for and stuff, but if that's actually a thing, then that'll be crazy. But yeah, I don't know. It obviously isn't through his neck, but that whole time Eren is screaming, which is interesting. It's almost like he never stopped screaming from the moment that he got pierced. And my first thought is he calling for aid, almost? Because I know that Annie, when she screams, it basically forces all the Titans in the immediate area to basically funnel directly to her, but we know that Eren doesn't have that power, I don't know, maybe it's just like a case of showing that he's in pain, but I don't think we've ever seen him like that bad before. You know what I mean? Like, he's never screamed to that degree, like where he's just non-stop. I don't know. So it made me think that like maybe he's calling for aid, but who knows? But anyway, yes, back to actually, yeah. Just before we go there, bless Reiner, man, bless him. It's like kind of like when Peak says that, you know, she still doesn't, like, you know, she doesn't trust Marley at all anyway, but she does like trust the comrades that, you know, she grew up with, and you know, and everything like that. She trusts them, not Marley. That the reasons for going to war are not for the benefit of the higher ups and the countries that surround and everything like that. It's not about that. It's about their immediate, like, their people in their circle. And similar to that, Reiner, all he does is just want to end the suffering, like, full stop. And bless him, he understands that. Even with Eren, he says that, like, you know, this is it. It's done. It's time to end your suffering as well. So it's nice that he, you know, I mean, we knew this about Eren and Reiner. Like, they always have that, like, kind of sort of brothership kind of thing going on, and that's just still evident now. You know, Eren gave him the courtesy, knowing what he went through, to talk to him before he pulled off the attack on Marley, and right here we have Reiner basically saying that, you know, to end his suffering as well. So bless him, man. I don't know how long he's got, because I feel like, I don't know, if he makes it to the end of this show alive, because he hasn't got long left. They already chose, you know, like, Gabi to take him over. So it was between Gabi and Falco, right? Really. But yeah, so I don't think he's got that long left. And talking about before about how there possibly been a, you know, a time jump, because, you know, unless Levi's going to be out injured for the rest of the show, which would be, God, that would be disappointing. Then, you know, so I don't know. I just feel like, because we've had this Eren versus Reiner thing so many times, like, it's been throughout, that eventually it would come to a head, and one of them would be dead because of it, you know. So I don't know how long Reiner's got left. And remember, it's a thing of, there could be a possibility of, like, where Eren gets, I don't know. I mean, I think Eren would eat him. I think he would. It's a shit way to go, and it's horrible. It's, you know, but I mean, he's got this sort of just focused mentality that I just feel like it doesn't matter. Just, we're going, we're doing it, you know. So I don't know. So yeah, I mean, after that, we go to the jail cells. So yeah, I did say, like, during it, that was Armin still locked up, because I was like, we need Armin right now. Having the Colossal Titan here is a big deal. Like, he's so big. How are you going to deal with that? It's interesting, like, they didn't... I mean, Eren did say, like, this is stupid, you lot coming here. You know? Like, you don't know what's in store for you. And it's like, it kind of makes sense, because, I mean, what do they have to take on the Colossal Titan? You know? It's interesting. Because I don't think they had the time to basically say, like, well, Armin's in prison, you know, so now's your chance to attack. It doesn't matter now. Armin's out. They're all out. So yeah, Onyankopon comes and lets them out. And, you know, Connie, fucking hell, bless him and all. Bless him. Because, you know, he's the one that's really gone... overboard's not the word, because he's right in the way that he's feeling. He's kind of gone off the deep end in terms of, like, he's the one that's really gone off, like, the deep end and being like, this is ridiculous. This is, you know what I mean? Like, I think he was talking about how Eren is actually evil, in the last episode before the break, And he comes out and he basically puts Onyankopon up against a wall and whatnot. And he's like, he's sick of being betrayed. Betrayed by Reiner, Bertolt, Annie, and then now by Eren and whatnot. And he's just tired and sick of it. And I feel him. Like you can definitely feel him at that point in that scene. It's like it's really taking its toll on him. Jean's obviously the more not laid back. He's just the more sort of generally composed, I guess, but he still is kind of more on the side of what Connie is feeling, And then you've got Mikasa. I mean, Armin basically comes out and comes out the cell and puts everybody at ease and understands that Onyankopon is actually telling the truth because of something that he said previously. And it's the thing with Armin. He's just his mind never switches off. He has access to information he can just grab at any point in time. It's like, this happened. Oh yeah, that's because he said this before. He'll just grab information from anywhere. Puts them all at ease, and he talks about how basically Onyankopon was like, right, well, if the likes of Eren and Zeke are both dead, then that you can't get this future that we're hoping for peace in the end. So that basically it was setting up for this kind of like temporary truce with the crew back together again. Armin, Mikasa, Jean, and Connie all helping Eren and again. And it was almost setting it up as almost this like temporary alliance kind of thing. But then Armin comes out and basically lays it all out in the line and says why do you think, do you honestly think that Eren's wanting to euthanize all of the Eldians? Like, do you really think that's the case? And Connie and Jean they feel almost like he is actually thinking that, like that Eren actually wants to do that. And it does seem like Eren clearly has another plan that we don't know about yet. Whatever the hell he's thinking of doing, he obviously needs Zeke for the Founding Titan and whatever. So obviously he's keeping them on side, by going along with what Zeke says that he wants them to do. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is the thing: is Connie is almost all out of trust. So I still feel like Connie's still going to be on edge about helping Eren. He'll probably always be like that, to be fair. Probably till the end of the show. Jean, I feel like because he's more composed, is more willing to listen. I mean, they all listen to Armin, right? I mean, if there's anybody in this show who is like fully % trustworthy, it's Armin. So but the characters do. They trust him. So when he's coming out and like literally stating like logical reasons as to why you think, like, you know what I mean, like why Eren isn't actually on board with the euthanization plan, maybe we can tilt their heads and they could probably have more of a permanent alliance. I don't know. But after that, the Armin talks to Mikasa like, do you want to help Eren? Obviously asking her, like in this kind of like emotional sense because of what just happened a few episodes ago when Eren literally came and just beat the shit out of Armin and whatnot, and said these horrible things to Mikasa, even though if they might be factual or not. And Mikasa says, yeah, she wants to help, and wants to be on Eren's side, even if, the blood is basically forcing her to do it anyway. So this whole Ackerman thing, that's obviously this connection that is between them. I can't remember I feel like I have talked about this before, but I can't remember if the whole thing with the Ackerman connection is true. Because everything that Eren was saying was like right in terms of like, right, so the headaches and everything like that, it's like kind of like this this like kind of like intuition thing that like this that kicks in when she gets this like headache or whatever. But we know that Levi gets it too, and we know that Levi has actually like been protecting Eren as well, but we haven't seen the instinctual protecting of Eren. You know what I mean? Like Levi has been put in that position, like he was put in that position like way back in season 1, when they were trying to Like, they didn't know what Eren was capable of, so they basically assigned him with the Levi squad, because if, like, you know, Levi would take him out like that, you know, I mean, he was the one that was most capable. So he was kind of thrust into that position to protect Eren anyway, but we've never seen, like, the kind of, like, the visual thing of protecting Eren, or, like, on that level that we have with Mikasa, because Mikasa, like, kind of loves him anyway. But it would be interesting to know, like, to see if that is a clear thing that actually resides within Levi as well. I would really like to see that. You know, because if you think about it, Kenny did the same thing, right? Like, that was the, like, if we remember back to, like, I think it was in the first half of season 3, right? Because it was during that whole arc with Kenny and whatnot, that he was a reason why Eren wasn't killed off then as well, right? Because he turned up at the time and like, he basically had this whole thing about I can't, like, the ins and outs were, he had this relationship with the brother, right? And there was this whole spiel that he came about how there was something about power and whatnot. Anyway, I can't recite the whole quotes because it was a while ago, but you get what I mean. They've been in situations where Eren's been in trouble and they have been involved in protecting him one way or another. Kenny showed up at that time to stop him from getting killed when he was on the sacrifice thing, and we've seen Levi multiple times, like, protect him, even though Levi has, you know, kicked the living shit out of him before. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe there is, that's the thing. There is something in that we've seen in a visual sense with Mikasa, in a more, like, emotional kind of close connection thing with Mikasa. But there is, like, kind of, like, explanations as to how it is actually a logical explanation, because we've seen Levi and Kenny protect him in different ways. Like, it's not directly with Kenny, for example, but it has, you know, I don't know. It's interesting anyway. An interesting thing to, you know, it's a bit of brain candy for you if you want to think about it. But yeah, we had the new cadets in there, which I assume they're the new cadets that literally just got gunned down. Like, you know, they have no military experience. They just were waiting and they were just shocked, and then, you know, they basically are the new fodder, right? When it looks like the Paradise side isn't going very well, they just get shot down. You know, the new recruits. You know, keep your wits about you. Look around. Don't just be standing on the rooftops. It's interesting because, like, if you go back to, like, the first season, or, like, even, like, the first 2 seasons, first 3 seasons actually, they stand around on rooftops a lot. But this is the thing, is, like, because now we're facing off against Marley with their, like, you know, the humans, like, you know, they've got these guns that can shoot for, like, long range and everything like that, that it's like, you know, you can't afford to stand around on rooftops anymore. But yeah, I mean, they should have learned that. They got, you know, Marley armaments and people that, you know, give them the information on all of that. They should be changing their military, you know, prowess to fit against how to fight against Marley. But I don't know, maybe they didn't have a commander then. It was just like all out war and they just didn't know what to do. They panicked. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I've got. I mean, on Yankapon, bless him, like, you know, he's another one that is trustworthy. I mean, you can't tell, and Armin trusts him, so that automatically makes him more trustworthy as well. But yeah, he doesn't agree with Zeke's and Yellen's plan, so the idea that he knew beforehand, yeah, he didn't, did he? And Yankapon's now on side with I mean, this is the thing. Armin has basically laid out what he believes to be a logical explanation with Eren, and Eren's basically doing his own thing, just keeping Zeke and Yelena on side. And he's said that all in front of Onyankopon. So, Onyankopon, don't make me a liar, right? You've seemed so trustworthy so far. Don't fuck it up, right? I mean, I guess it is all based just on what Armin is saying. Like, there may not, like, to Onyankopon, there may not be any truth in it or whatnot. But I don't know. Going forward, it seems like Onyankopon is probably more aligned with. I mean, he was kind of like Hanji's second, you know, like kind of like right hand man almost in a way, right? So I guess that this is going to be a thing with like, you know, Onyankopon sticking with this group, right, and not going back over to like to tell Zeke and Yelena these sort of things. But anyway, yeah, that's all I've got on this episode. So yeah, excited to get into more when they eventually drop. So yeah, I will be reacting to these week to week. You know, so do look forward to those. And yeah, really good start to kick off the train journey to the end of the show. I don't know how many episodes we've got. If you do want to tell me, please let me know in the comments below, just so I know. You know, I don't know what's better, knowing how many episodes are left or not knowing. You know, because then maybe it might just sneak up on me and it's like, oh no, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's best not to know. I don't know. It doesn't matter either way, I guess. But if you do have any questions, any comments, anything, then obviously you can get your comments down in the comments below. I'll have a look at them. But anyway, yeah, that's all I've got. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.